You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're going to be joined on the telephone and we're going to be talking all about millennials, that sort of throwaway generation, especially around food, I think. Firstly, thank you very much for joining us. If you could just introduce yourself and tell listeners a little bit about yourself to start us off with.
Absolutely. My name is Azmina Govindji. I'm consultant nutritionist to Love Canned Food, and I'm here today to talk about some really interesting research in the UK about fascinating differences in attitude towards shopping and cooking between different generations.
Well, I was hoping you could start off by telling us why millennials seem to sort of think so differently to other generations.
Well, it's really interesting. The research, which was 2,000 people in the UK, revealed that almost half of millennials admit to binning food at least once a week, which is more than twice the number of people in the over 55-year-old age group.
So tell us a bit more about those sort of statistics around millennials in our area here on the Isle of Sheppey.
What we've noticed in around the Isle of Sheppey is that nearly 90% of millennials appear to be actively looking online for their inspiration when it comes to food and cooking, which is very different to, again, the generation sort of above 55 years old, where about a third of them tend to be looking in their kitchen cupboards.
Well, yeah, I can quite imagine that because it's very easy. Even I find myself doing it, and I don't come that millennial generation quickly going to YouTube, and there's always a demonstration video on something.
Well, it seems as though they like to share their photographs of what they're eating.
So, what are the sort of differences do you notice with millennials when it comes to those kitchen attitudes and cooking?
Well, they seem to be believing, around a third of them believe that fresh is nutritionally better. But in fact, when you look at the data, there are quality ingredients that are used in the canning process. And the canning process uniquely retains the quality of those ingredients. So you're still getting, for example, the fiber, the minerals, the protein, the potassium that you would get from fresh foods. And in fact, when you're thinking, for example, of 5 a day, canned fruit and veg counts just the same as fresh does.
So you're talking about millennials turning to the internet and social media. Do you think that actually is helping, or is it now easier because you can do that?
I think it's really positive that the majority of millennials are actively looking online because there are some fantastic recipes out there. The attitude of sharing on Instagram and on your Facebook page, etc., I think encourages an interest in food, and the more colorful your plate looks, generally the wider the range of nutrients. So if people are taking photographs and sharing, and if you've got lots of beautiful colours of fruit and vegetables on there, then that actually is nutritionally better.
And of course, you always hear about the 5 a day. Is that something we should really be trying to achieve?
There's a wealth of research on the benefits of fruit and vegetables. And yes, we should be eating at least 5 a day. Often people forget those two important words, at least. But in your region, it's averaging about 2 to 3. So we need to find quick and convenient ways for people to eat a wider range of fruit and vegetables. And if you think about it, millennials often on a budget, things like pulses, beans, lentils, peas, sweet corn, they give you protein just as much as, meat and fish do. So these are good ways of extending meat dishes or substituting so that you get cheaper ways of having your protein.
Was there anything else you'd like to get over or cover or let our listeners know about?
I think if people are looking for inspiration, there are some really good, quick, easy, cost-effective recipes on lovecannedfood.com. And if you get there before the end of August, you can enter a competition.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to our listeners here at BRFM Bridge Radio on the Daniel Monday Night Community Show.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.